Launch pad is clear. Prepare for launch pad power-up sequence.
Affirmative, Director. Launchpad power-up sequence, go, no, go. Engineering.
Engineering, go.
Guidance.
Guidance, go.
Telemetry.
Telemetry, go.
Network.
Network, go.
Capcom.
Capcom, go.
Systems ready. Power-up auxiliary phase 1.
On.
Phase 1 power-up confirmed.
Power-up launch tower phase 2.
On.
Phase 2 launch tower power-up confirmed.
Phase 3. Initiate rocket auxiliary power.
On.
Phase 3 rocket auxiliary power confirmed.
All systems powered up and ready for launch. Initiate countdown to booster ignition.
On. 5, 4,
5, 4,
3,
3,
2,
2,
1.
1. Booster sparks activated.
Spark ignition confirmed. Boosters ignited.
We have liftoff. Congratulations and Godspeed, Op Specialist.
Thank you, Flight Director, and congratulations. All systems nominal. Wait. Abort mission. Rocket did not leave the launch pad.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this feature video. I want to give a big shout out to everyone who helped me during the live streams on this build. It was so much fun. It took a long time, but I was happy to be a part of it and have you guys a part of it. The rest of this video, I'm going to be explaining and doing a little bit of a walkthrough on how we built this settlement up. So please enjoy the rest of the video, and if you like it, hit that subscribe and like button. Thanks. Back from there, when I started the build, the first thing I built was the rocket itself, which is made entirely out of concrete. It is 8 blocks stacked together in the shape of an octagon, and I just built it as high as we could get. And once we made it to the part where it funnels to more of a point, I had to make it 1 block wide and keep stacking blocks in a column type shape, almost a star pattern, just to give a circular effect. Now I'm pretty happy that I was able to come up with a system on how to do that. It wasn't easy, but if you check out the live streams, you can see how I did that. It involves making a pattern that's really big, and then you have to build it somewhere off the location, like in this middle area over here. And then once you're done building it, then you build stairs all the way to the top of this hexagon, and then carry that cylindrical feature up and place it as one piece, because I was not able to build the pattern all the way up there for stacking the blocks. And by pattern, I mean just like a snapping tool for getting the blocks to snap in the correct place. Now let's move up the support structure, which is the support structure is about 22 stories tall, and it's meant to represent the Saturn V support structure. It's not 100% identical, but I tried to get it as close as we could. We'll take a peek up here. It's a lot of stairs to run up, and we'll see a better look at the rocket itself. Now I have the bridges in place. For the bridges I used the foundation that is just like pillars instead of the concrete or whatever, to give the effect of kind of like scaffolding and steel structure. I built this entire structure out of steel prefabs because if I had built it out of wood like I originally wanted to, wood has an issue with rendering this high up, so when we look at it from the bottom, it probably would have disappeared on us. And a lot of it does disappear on us, like the stairs and all that, when we do look at it from below. So it is what it is. I mean, on consoles, we're limited by, you know, the performance of the PlayStation 4 as opposed to playing on a high-end PC where we could do a build like this or even bigger and not have any rendering or memory issues. So we're at the top of the tower, or our rocket, I should say, and this is where I have it funnel in into more of a smaller circle type structure. And what I did was I used the curved walls and I used a carpet glitch to get the curved walls to glitch into each other to give it more of a circular dome type effect, to give that kind of smooth funnel transition into our circle pillar that is the tip of the rocket, and it goes up another few more stories. And as you can see where the wood is, it's about 1, 2, 3, 4 different levels, and I just snapped the blocks at different angles into the same spot to give this effect. Now I'll go a little higher up here just to take a look at the top for you guys, and you can see how that turned out at the top. At the top I just used the steel round corner pieces to create our little tip, our nose of the rocket, which is right there, and then just did a large power conduit on top for the pointy part. And then I got power run up to it for the lights on top, as well as all the pixels on the light effects of the rocket itself, which was all painted red. On the actual rocket, it's supposed to be black and white, but I just couldn't get black and white to work, especially with the concrete. So I chose concrete and red, which I thought shows up pretty good. So we'll head back down. But before we head back down, I'm going to show you guys, during the feature video, I'm sure you saw the spotlights all sweeping from the right side. I built them, and then I took the stairs away to make them float in the air. And then I have another row of a dozen spotlights going down on this side. Now every second spotlight is on a delayed timer, and it's delayed by 2 seconds. So that way I don't have all the spotlights shining and sweeping in the exact same direction, because that wouldn't look very good. So I wanted them to alternate their sweeps of spotlights, because that looks more real. So every second one I put a delayed switch, and then I programmed it with the terminal to have it delayed by 2 seconds, so it would be offset from the other spotlights. Like here's one right here on the floor below me. You could see, oh, not that one, it's this one here. That one's just got power. Let's try one more down. This here, this is a delayed power switch, so that this turret here is going to be delayed by 2 seconds as opposed to the one above it that isn't delayed at all. So every second one I got delayed, and that gives it a really cool effect of the sweeping lights on the rocket itself. Now one thing I really like on this build is the crane that we built. The crane is obviously moved off to the side because during launch, when like before launch procedures, you know, placing the rocket into position, the crane is used for that. But then when it's launch time, you move the crane off to the side, and then the rocket is clear for takeoff. So the crane itself, I just built a long piece sticking out, and then I hung that circular blocks off of 6 electrical wires, and then I put a power armor below it hung with electrical wires as well, and a couple lights, so there's a little generator floating there. But it gives a pretty cool effect, especially from down here, that it actually kind of looks like a crane. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Now, as you guys saw during the feature video of this build, during the ignition sequence and whatnot, we had a countdown timer, which went 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is all set up on separate power banks and separate time sequences with terminals, and this is where it gets really tricky. So you guys saw that in the control room I have 5 switches. Each switch does something different. Now this one goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the way you build those is with a lot of delayed timers, as you can see behind the pixels. I have 5 delayed timers for number 1, 4 for 2, 3 for 3, 2 for 4, and 1 for 5. That way it's delayed exactly 1 second per each switch. So if you want this one to be delayed 5 seconds, you got to have 5 delayed timers for it, if that makes sense. So like, because when you send power to all 5 of them, you want this one to light up, then this one a second later, then that one 2 seconds later, this one 3 seconds later, and this one 4 seconds later, or 5. And then another second after the number 1 lights off, there's more delays, and the power goes to the spark igniters, and these are just Tesla arc coil things that shoot off, you know, electrical sparks, and that is the part of the ignition where the sparks fire out first, and then after the sparks fire out, that's when the flames or the rocket itself shoots the flames out. So that's what we got going on there. So the flames themselves, I built in 5 rings of flames because I wanted the fire to progress outwards in a linear fashion that looks like that the flames are actually starting in the middle and then traveling outwards. So I have these all set on delayed timers here as well, as you can see. Yeah, I know it looks like a mess of wires, but it really is pretty complicated. So the inner ring has no delay. Then the second ring is wired up to this block right here, which has 1 delayed timer. Then our third ring of flame turrets would have been wired up to right here with 3 delayed switches. And then our fourth ring with 4 delay switches. And then our fifth and final ring of flame turrets has 5 delayed switches. And then we ran the wires around and connected them to the 4th and 5th ring. So here's ring number 4. And then right here in front of that is ring number 5. And they're all set to 1 second delay between each ring. So it goes, fires that one, this ring, ring number 3, ring number 4, then ring number 5. And I notice a lot of them get damaged when it happens, so not all of them always fire. It's actually like a different amount every time I try it. But it still ends up giving a pretty cool effect. So I have separate power banks ran for all of these different switches and things to work in the correct order that I want them to. And as you can see, I have 5 switches in the control room, and here I got 5 separate power lines. So if we come up here and take a quick peek, I'm going to try to move slowly so you guys can kind of take this in. But we have 5 switches here. The control room has our 5 power switches. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The reason why I have 10 conduits is because you got power coming in all the way from the back of the map. I got 3 power banks supplying 5 switches. So the first power bank supplies the first 3 switches, and the second 2 power banks supply power to switch 4 and switch 5. So you have 5 powers coming in, or 5 lines coming in, and then 5 lines going out. So that's why there's 10 here, and it looks kind of like a mess, but this section here is all power out. This section here is all power in. So it's all about power in and out, because when you have a power switch, you have to be intercepting the direction of power. So it goes from in and then back out. And I tried to keep the wires as clean as I could, but it's still going to be a mess no matter what you do. So let's take a look inside the control room and how we got this. I tried to recreate a little bit of a Houston era 1960s style control room. I mean, this is the Fallout 4 Commonwealth, post-nuclear age. So I mean, it's not all high-tech, and I don't have mods to make it look any more high-tech than this. But I still like it anyways. So here's the control room, and when we do the whole sequence ignition, I start with phase 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So I just click these switches in order. Like I said, the first switch is lights on the right side. Second switch is lights on the support structure on the left side. The third switch is the powering up the support systems on the rocket and the exterior lights on it. The fourth switch is the countdown timer that goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all on delayed timers that I built in, and then it sparks the ignition, or the ignition sparkers, I should say. And then the fifth switch is the igniting of the thrusters themselves, and that's the one that controls the 5 rings of flame turrets that I have, which are all on delayed timers as well. So I'll show you the power. It took a lot of power. I'm probably got about 2,000 power built here. And it was pretty intense to build it all. So obviously there's not enough room to build that much power. So what we had to do is I built 3 separate power banks, and I had to glitch a lot of generators together. So main power bank 1 is right here. And main power bank 1 I built all with 5 power and 10 power generators, and I used carpet mats like you see there to glitch them all together. And I did that to save space. I mean, because we just don't have enough space to build this many generators. So this is power bank 1, and the power bank 1 is powering up all the spotlight turrets and the pixels on the rocket itself. Now power bank 2 I built right here, where I glitched a whole bunch more together. And power bank 2 is the one that's powering the pixel board, countdown timers, and sparker traps. Now power bank 3 is this line, the third line that's coming out, and that is the power bank that is providing power for all the flame turrets underneath the rockets. I think I did a little overkill on the power for that, but you know, you can't be too careful. So that's why we have 3 power banks, 3 power lines running towards the control center. And again, like I said, power bank 1 is powering up the first 3 switches, and then power bank 2 and 3 is powering up the last 2 switches. And that's pretty much it that I got for you guys. If you guys have any other questions or comments concerning how I did this build on PlayStation 4, I'd be more than happy to reply and help you guys out as much as I can. The best thing I could say too is, I mean, watch the live streams. It's a part 6 or a 6-part series. This shows basically everything we did, minus actually building the control room itself. But it shows how to build everything we built, how to wire it. If anything is not shown, then yeah, just ask away and I'll see if I can help you guys as much as possible. The build limit size, I know someone's going to ask. I had to do the weapon drop glitch probably 6 times because I reached the build limit size about 6 times on this, which is just because the amount of wiring, turrets, and power and light pixels used, that really takes up a lot of build space. But that being said, guys, I hope you guys really enjoyed the video, and if you did, please help out the channel and click that subscribe button and that like button and share it with your friends. Also, we have a community on Facebook called the Ops Community, where Fallout 4 builders, I'm trying to gather all the major Fallout 4 builders into a singular group where we can all share ideas, tips and tricks, comments, suggestions, share our videos and content, our live streams, all that stuff. So I mean, I'm trying to make it like the #1 source for Fallout 4 building. So check that out in the description. It's on Facebook, the Ops Community of Commonwealth Architects. So if you guys can find that group on Facebook, you know, click join and we'll accept you and have a good time. So again, guys, thank you so much for watching the video. I appreciate your guys' time.